Hello and welcome to yet another edition of RoughCut. As I say, this is the show where I watch everything so that you don't have to. So let's talk about Shape of Momo today. It's a wonderful little film, the first, I think, from a woman from Sikkim. She's a graduate of the SRT FTII in Kolkata, and she's made this lovely little personal film which is really somewhat autobiographical, not entirely, based on a young woman who goes home from Delhi to her family, her mother, her pregnant sister who's come down to live with them, and who finds her village a little different from how she had left it. And she finds trouble adjusting to it. There's the orchard manager who she feels is trying to rip her off, or family off. There's the domestic who she thinks is not doing enough work. There's the village itself whose rules and regulations, unsaid rules and regulations, she doesn't quite understand. And there's a boyfriend somewhere on the horizon who seems quite progressive and modern, but still expects the perfectly shaped Momo, which is why the film is called Shape of Momo. And you translate it into the perfectly shaped roti or any other thing that the perfect Indian woman is supposed to make, and it's a universal story, which is why the film has been traveling film festivals all over the world and has done very well and resonated with women and men from across so many countries. And I think it sort of it epitomizes that thing that we keep saying, that the local is global. And what Meera Nair says, that just look around you, there's so many stories to tell. And truly, this is a story that could have been set anywhere, yet is so personal and so intimate, and says so much about young women and what their aspirations are. And Bishnu, the star of the heroine, there's so much anger in her bottled up because she wants change, but nobody seems to allow her to do it. And her mother gets angry with her sister gets angry with her boyfriend just sort of rolls his eyes and gives up. And without telling you too much about it, she really does realize that she's a bit of a misfit when she's at home, and perhaps what she needs to do is to go back to Delhi and sort of make her life there. I won't tell you how it ends, but it is a movie that you should watch, and a movie that you will like a lot, I think, because it's so gentle and so persuasive, and it sort of steals up on you quietly and grabs you by your heart, and I think you'll enjoy it. The second thing that I'm going to recommend is what I would call a cringe binge. I'm sure you've heard of this phrase before. It's this hate watch, when you like something that's so bad that it's almost good. Yes, we're talking about Desi Bling on Netflix, and what can I say? It has everything that I hate. It has huge cars, huge gems, beautifully manicured and beautifully coiffed women and men, and some of the most outrageous characters. There's a woman who sort of massages her husband's feet for 15 minutes every day that he wakes up. She also cuts and files his nails. This is a fully grown man. And there's another woman who's a sort of a party girl who basically gossips about everyone else and carries tales. They're twins who look like each other, not because they came out that way, but because they're surgically enhanced and say so. Then there's another couple, a Ukrainian and I think he's a Bengali gentleman, who seem to be coming apart at the seams. And there is Tejasswi, Prakash and Karan, Kundrra, the big boss contestants and the TV stars who come to Dubai to ostensibly make it their home. I'm sure they're back, given the state of Dubai now. And somehow there's this display of wealth, which I just actually find quite vulgar. And the aesthetic is so over the top that it never quite is used in irony. It's just obscene, and it's just so in your face. There's the aforementioned couple, as I said, the wife who presses her husband's feet every morning. What an example. Who declares quite casually in the first conversation she has with Tejasswi and Karan that she has 40 kilos of gold. I mean, yeah, I think there are people who do that, but I suppose this is telling us how the 1% lives, and it's not a very happy situation, at least not for the 99% of us. And given the kind of austerity that we're being asked to live with, I wonder whether this kind of thing is watchable because it's purely vicarious and it's a lifestyle we can never afford, or it's just something that is going to make us feel so envious that we want to smash the television screen or the computer screen, depending on what you're watching your Netflix on. There are yacht parties with I think what looks like Ukrainian women wearing very tiny clothes. There's a holy party with everyone dressed in white where nobody actually throws color at anyone else because the clothes are way too expensive. And there is a Bollywood themed party. Of course, we had to come to Bollywood. There are a couple of Bollywood actors walking in and out of the scene as well, but not anyone worth mentioning. And there's a Bollywood themed party where Tejasswi Prakash comes dressed as Sri Devi, God help Sri Devi. And there's someone else who comes dressed as Singham. And there's of course lots of cat fights and lots of boy conversations where essentially all the men are telling each other how they'd actually like to maybe sleep with other women. What an example. As I said, what an example. All of them are truly shining examples of what human beings should be. And why do I call it a cringe binge? Because it is one of those things that is so compulsively obscene and so compulsively awful that you really want to know exactly how low they'll fall in the next episode, and they do. There's also some strange jewelry going around, I think it's just the fact that these women have so much gold that they don't know what to do with it. So there's some strange kind of nose jewels and some strange kind of eye jewels. And I mean, given what we have just been told about gold and buying gold, I wonder where that leaves us. As I said, it's one of those shows, given the kind of austerity that we've been asked to live with, really makes you feel somewhat enraged. So that's Desi Bling for you this week, for a glimpse of the life that you could lead if you were a real estate developer, a woman who likes to live off some rich men, a Ukrainian model, or Karan, Kundrra, and Tejasswi Prakash. By the way, the two of them are, I believe they're in a relationship together, but they do look the most fake couple ever. So if this relationship is going anywhere off screen, best of luck to them. So Desi Bling and Shape of Momo, which is of course a lovely little film that you ought to watch, and the kind of films, please, if you don't watch them, who will? We need to encourage more in indie little gems like this, so that we can actually have more variety and less of violent, toxic men beating each other up. So see you next week.